Hey guys, I don't know about you, but I just love collecting old games basically, and by collecting I mean having them in their original boxes with manuals and everything basically that came together with them. Now this section here is actually a collection of my original boxed PC games that I have. Of course I do have a lot more PC games than this, but these are the ones that I basically bought off from eBay in the last recent years, and were the ones that I played a lot back in the MS-DOS or Windows 95, 98 era, or some of the games here are even after that period or made for XP. I'm just gonna give you a little browse through what we have here. So first of all, we have Eurofighter 2000, one of the best simulations made for MS-DOS. Then Red Alert X-Wing Collector's Edition, Dark Forces, Resurrection, Rise of the Robots 2, which was a pretty shitty fighting game, but I played it back in the day and I loved it. Pray for that pretty similar fighting game, but it wasn't that great either, but still it was memorable to me. Command and Conquer Covert Operations, Command and Conquer, the original one in Big Box Edition, Carmageddon, one of my all-time favorite games, of course One Must Fall, Street Fighter 2 for PC, Terminator Skynet, Terminator Future Shock. Then going up here we have Dark Forces again. This one is a different boxing. Then Shattered Steel. I don't know whether you are aware of this or not. This is actually a pretty good sort of mech type game. It only had one title, so it wasn't a series like Mech Warrior, but still it was very good, and I liked it a lot. I'll try to put it back. So going on, here we have Eurofighter 2000 version 2, another Eurofighter title that I have, F-22 DDR Dominance. This was made for Windows 95 I believe, and then here we have FX Fighter, basically the very first 3D fighting game that was released for the PC in its original boxing, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, just awesome. It's got everything in it, and it's like brand new. Then one of my all-time favorite games, MDK, or Murder Death King, or whatever MDK stands for, basically one of the most revolutionary games at the end of the 90s basically. And here we have a big series of Mech Warrior games that I'm also very fond of. Mech Warrior Mercenaries, Mech Warrior 2 expansion pack, the original Mech Warrior 2, and another Mech Warrior 2 in box, all slightly different. And here we have Armored Fist 2, a pretty good tank sim game, or rather actual game from Novalogic. And moving up, here we have let's say we got Doom 2, and here's really the best thing of them all, the Mortal Kombat section, so to speak, for the PC games. Well, I do have Mortal Kombat original boxing for the Amiga, the Mortal Kombat 2 for the Amiga, Mortal Kombat 1 for PC, Mortal Kombat 2 for PC, then another different type of boxing and version for the PC with Mortal Kombat 2. I got two MK3s in boxed version. One of them is the Windows 95 and MS-DOS version, the other one is only MS-DOS version. And then I have two boxes of Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and also have Mortal Kombat 4, which I just recently acquired. This one was actually pretty hard to get hold of, I mean, in such a condition like this. Let me just show it to you. So this is the original boxing, and Actually, it's awesome. You can just open up the front cover, and I'm not gonna go inside, but there is the game, the manual, and an actual comic book telling you the story of MK4. Well, even if the game wasn't that great, the boxing sure it is, and it's definitely a must-have collector item. And then here we have another great thing, which is called Zone Raiders. This was another action game I used to play back in the MS those days. It wasn't very popular or well known, but it was a lot of fun. Then here we have, surprise surprise, Eurofighter 2000 again, at least a different type of boxing, and sort of I think this one was an updated version. I think I have like 2 or 3 versions of Eurofighter 2000 at least. The reason why I have so many of this is that I think this is one of the best simulation games ever made, and considering the fact that it was made in the MS-DOS era, is just a huge feature what they accomplished this. And this one is another recent acquisition of mine, Full Throttle, original boxing manual and everything. This one was very hard to get hold of as well, I mean for a reasonable price, but I managed to get it for like, I don't know, $20, something like that. Here we had expansion pack for X-Wing, Imperial Pursuit, then Hexen from ID Software, first person shooter, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, which was a piece of shit, but still like the box art, and just bought it just due to the boxing. Then we have Genome. This was also MechWarrior type of game, not very well known, but it was actually quite fun to play now. And the boxing just looks awesome. So I'm just gonna try to show it back in here. Then we have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and then Game of the Year edition for Half-Life and Opposing Force, which I just managed to get this week. So this pretty much is the current you know, collection of boxed old PC games that I have. I do collect other games as well, but these are the ones that I'm going a lot after on eBay, and I mean I spent a shitload of money on this. I mean this is not such a big collection, like 50 titles, but you know, considering the fact that they are all in boxed and you know, with manuals and everything, each one of these sells for at least $30 or $20 plus shipping, so it cost me quite a lot to get this together, and I'm still chasing for at least the same amount of boxes that you can see here, especially the Mortal Kombat ones. I mean, those were just, you know, really great. Let me just pick up my favorite one, MK2 Ultimate Arcade Translation. Yeah, this is the one of the box arts that there was for MK2, and I have another version that looks a bit different, but I really miss these type of, you know, quality in terms of boxing for games. Now in comparison, here is what we have recently. I mean, although this game is not, you know, from recently, this is from, I don't know, from like 2000, 2001. This is Aliens vs Predator 2. And it's just basically a simple DVD box, and yeah, it's, you know, easy to pack, easy to, you know, pack on your shelf and carry around, but it's not the same as having, you know, a shiny box like this. I mean, just look at it, the artwork and everything. It's just, you know, just having it in your hands is great stuff. And I really miss this sort of approach from, you know, publishers. I know that, you know, this costs a lot of extra money, and it's much cheaper than just to produce a simple DVD box with actually what used to upset me, that lately there are not even any manuals anymore. I mean, I know you can go online and, you know, read stuff, but you know, at least you should have the manual. Here we have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Again, this just looks awesome. I mean, if you compare it to nowadays when you buy a PS3 game or an Xbox game and you just get a shitty box and that's it basically. It's not really the same. These games are, you know, good really for collecting, showing off, and I'm gonna be, you know, buying separate set of shells for them. I'm just storing them here for temporary basis, but you know, I want to have a proper setup game room for these types of things later on. So I'm still in the collecting phase. There's a lot more to go. Oh, and here we have something else as well that I managed to pick up in the last couple of weeks. These are actually gaming manuals for Mortal Kombat, various titles. So basically what's called official game secrets for MK Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 3. Actually power play guide from Simon here. This was sort of a series for each of the games that would tell you the moves, the combos, and some basic tactics. Don't expect too much out of these, but at least they look pretty nice, and you know, have the moves in it. I mean, back in those days when you know, I guess, I mean, we here definitely did not have any internet, so we were just lucky if we could get hold of, you know, one single copy of a magazine like this and just you know, copy the moves out of it. But yeah, these look pretty cool, and for MK fan like me, this is, you know, real treat. You know, I just sometimes used to pick this out, read through them, and this one was my favorite, Mortal Kombat 2 Official Player's Guide. It was pretty thick for a magazine. Unfortunately, it was made in a bit shitty way, and just starting to fall apart, so I just have it, you know, stuck here on the shelf. But I think I'm gonna be getting another copy of this later on. However, the moves and you know, various combos that are and juggles described here with pictures is just awesome. I mean, they really put in a lot of great stuff into this, plus the secret stuff. So I don't know, when I read these, I mean, it's just hilarious. I mean, there was stuff here that I didn't even knew about. So this is basically the secrets section. It's telling you about, you know, rumors about animalities. So apparently these were the types of figures. I don't know how much you can see. This is sort of like a teddy bear looking at a frozen Kung Lao and performing an animality, which is obviously, you know, just a fan-made picture, but this was what's, you know, was circling around at the time. And then of course the infamous never to found hook fatality on page 2, where you could, you know, knock up the guy with the hooks. And Living Forest fatality was another, you know, rumored secret to have. Red Robin, I never heard of that guy. Basically Red Ranger. Of course, play as Kano, play as Goro. We always expected that, but they never showed up. These are just, you know, also fan-made tricky pictures. However, you know, back in those days when a picture like this, you know, hit one of the magazines, even just rumor, it started going around like fire, and you know, everybody was thinking about it. I mean, we as well, for example, with Mortal Kombat 1, we were thinking that you would be able to, you know, fight a dragon on the courtyard stage, which is basically only a statue, or even the guards. And actually on Goro's stage, Goro's lair, you would be able to draw out the demons or whatever things were looking at in the background, and to be able to find them. Of course it wasn't true, but you know, after we found out Reptile, you know, everybody was going after secret stuff 24/7 with MK1. So going back to the topic, this is pretty much the collection that I have here. It's basically stacked away for the moment, but not for long. And I'm gonna be making a special sort of area for just the MK titles, because they look great. I mean, here you have MK3. Well, this one of the boxes is pretty much ripped, but still okay, and still got the manual, still got the original CD, and that's what's count. And let me just, for the end, let me just show you the two different variants that I have for Mortal Kombat 3. So Mortal Kombat 3 basically was released for PC in two versions. One of them was purely for MS-DOS, and this is the one. As you can see, this is the back side. And this one, with the sort of orange artwork, is the Windows 95 and DOS version. The 95 version was basically the same as the PSX version, just an emulated one. So that's about it. And for closing, all I want to say is that I don't really think that this type of quality with boxing and, you know, devotion to games from publisher side or producer side is ever going to come back, but still it would be a neat thing. I mean, for big titles that are coming out, you can always get sort of a collector's edition for a shitload of money that includes boxes, but it's not the same. I mean, DVD boxes are okay, but it's a piece of shit. I want to go back to the old days and collect games like this and have my games in boxes like this. So much for closures. See you guys next time.